everybody, and welcome to day 33. On today's day 33, I wanted to discuss something that we've heard time and time again, and it is for every action, there's a reaction. It's something we've talked about. We say, wow, you've done this. You can't be surprised when this happens, or so forth. So I I thought about that with my life. I thought about it with social media, and I thought about it with everything that I've gone through in my life, and I have to say that is 100,000% true. That for every action you take, there's always some type of reaction. So as I've done research and I looked at certain things, I found this quote, and it said, "Life is not happening to you. Life is reacting to you." So it just made me get into that mindset of every day and the decisions I make. You know, when it comes down to money, when you get paid, you can make these decisions, and if you make the wrong decisions and there's a reaction that you are not welcoming, well, you can't be surprised, because it is nothing more than your money reacting to the action you took. So what if every action you were faced with, you thought for a minute about the reaction or the repercussions of what could possibly happen based on the decisions in which you make? I mean, think about it. Like, it would really make you second guess a lot of different decisions that you're making. The same goes with health and fitness. Okay, you can react and say, I'm going to take charge to lose weight. But it is the process to which you do to get there that, if you're saying you're going to start this diet, but then you eat what you want, and then the reaction is, oh, you'll start tomorrow or whatever. But then days go by and you've not ate correctly, and then you realize, okay, this is nothing more than a reaction to me making this decisions to do what I'm doing. And it's just amazing to me, because I also think about that quote. And it is true. Life is reacting to the choices in which we make. It's the treatment of people. It's what we choose to say and do when it comes to other people. It is just a reaction. Recently I was faced with some negativity on social media, and I was informed by other individuals that there was something negative being saying about me on these individual social media, but I was not able to see it, nor did I want to see it, because as I blocked them and so forth. But it's interesting to me is that what I want people to understand is that your reaction is what people are picking up on. And it's so what, people block people all the time and different things like that, and we choose to do what we want. It's our reaction to the action which people take. So I look at everything going forward in my life, whether it's love life, whether it's the reactions that determine your tomorrow. So I, take a stance, and I say this to you as well. Just stay positive in everything that you're doing, and take the action necessary to make the reaction be that which you are hoping for, or that which you would like it to do. You have more control than you over this than you realize. Because it's a situation of, if I react to something, like take your children. Like, you have your children, whether you're in a two-parent household or a single parent household. Your action you take, your kids are the reaction. How you approach things, your motivation of what you do and how you do things, they will do nothing but react to that which you show them. And because I see it in my own daughter. I kind of get it now. I don't think I was getting it before. But now I see that my daughter is definitely turning into a reaction of the decisions that I made earlier in my life. It's how I took weight loss and how I see how she's into health and fitness. How I took being a strong woman and showing her that yes, despite a lot of adversity, you can conquer, you can do things, you can have a career, you can do all these things. And I see her attacking her future in that same regard. She is reacting to that which I acted. So it's I feel uplifted. I feel amazingly wonderful in this day 33 of moving towards getting to age 50. And I realized, that there's just going to be people that will react and never grow up, that will react and just be, everything from ignorant to stupid to just plain miserable. So, when you see all of these things and all of this kind of stuff, unfortunately, I'm just one of those type of people that I just don't like negativity that I'm involved in. So it bothered me a little bit, and especially since people were reaching out to me. But then I realized, like, whoa, number one, kudos to them for making me relevant like that. But it's like, I realized that I'm in a different space. I'm in a better space. And, we all have our choices. And if I feel that negativity is not part of something that I want to react to, that's very uplifting to a lot of people. And that's what important. We hide a lot behind a keyboard, and it allows us to react to things that probably we normally would never do because we have this screen, we have this way of hiding and being able to be malicious and horrible to people right behind a keyboard, but knowing if that keyboard did not exist, you would never react that way. So, what if we just live in the moment of saying that for every action I am being dealt with, I'm going to think twice about my reaction, whether it's negative or positive, because it's going to determine your next action. So your key here is to take an action, think twice about your reaction, because it's going to determine your next action. And if you can already foresee what you hope the result will be, you have to understand it's going to be determined based on how you now react. So it is so imperative that you keep thinking in your mind, life is not an action, it is responding to my action. So always, always take things as action, reaction, action, reaction. I don't care what it is. It's like, even if you're thinking about something for dinner, you have to understand, if you leave out early in the morning, you take something out the kitchen, out of the freezer for dinner, it's only going to react to what you decided to do, right? Because so if you get home and you're disappointed in what you did, it is because your first action was to grab the first thing you saw, not really think about, what really would I like for dinner? So you can't get mad at the piece of chicken because it's not really what you wanted. You have to get mad at yourself for not taking a moment to think twice about your reaction to that action and just say, hold up. I really don't want chicken. Let me just look a little further because I would prefer this piece of fish that's been sitting in here. Right? And that would have been more fulfilling because your reaction when you got home would have been an amazing thawed piece of fish because you were happy, you took it out and took the time to do that in order to make yourself, for the end result to be that you reacted in the way that allowed you to think twice to satisfy yourself in the end. So it sounds simple, and it is, but at the same token, it is something that most of the time we don't give our lives a moment to do. We don't give ourselves a moment to say, I'm going to think before I react. It is just not what we do. We get an action, we react. We get something, even in arguments, right? You, especially when you're so gung-ho and standing your ground for different things that come your way, it's like, I need my position and I'm going to react because this is my position. But in a lot of times you don't think about it. You don't think about your actions. You don't even take the time to really look at what you're reacting to. And in a lot of cases, you're reacting to something that you really shouldn't, right? But it is your right fighter. This is it. You're not thinking about the action, reaction. You're just thinking about, I need to take action. So it is something that, like, even when faced with love and relationships and different things like that, you know, we sometimes get caught up in relationships and caught up in those things, and our reaction to them is probably more of appeasing the other person more than it is appeasing yourself. You know, and this is what makes for a very horrible situation of, wait, I should have really rethought my reaction to something that was said, and my result may have been something different. So what if, when you move along in 2019, and as you get another year older, that I am saying to you, just take your time now before you react to anything, whether it be negative or positive. Fill your heart, your mind, your body, and soul with people that will keep your positive energy going, so it allows you to make great reactions to actions. It is just imperative that at some point you change the direction of what you're going with all your actions, especially if you're seeing that the same results keep happening. You have to understand that if everything is going the same way as it went 5 years ago, same way that it went 10 years ago, it is because your actions are the same. It is because for every action you've been given, your reaction has been the same. The result's still going to be the same. Your reaction to the action has to be different to get a different reaction and a different result. You have to change. You know, it's just imperative. You know, not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to love you. And then there's going to be tons that love you and tons that like you. So when you're faced with all of this negativity and positivity and negativity, just make sure you think twice about the way in which you react to it, both on the good side and the bad side. Be happy with yourself, and at the same token, be happy with the reactions you take to every action. And trust me, you will be so happy that you took the time to think twice about things that you are being faced with that you have to react to. And in some cases, what you may find out, a reaction is not even necessary at all. But it's just sometimes that keyboard will allow us to hide behind and say what we want to say, even if we know it's going to be hurtful. It's just how some people are. But live for the moment and understand that everything in life, there's going to be so much stuff in your life that's going to require a reaction. So in 2019, I'm asking you to think twice about your reaction to every action that comes your way, so that you can foresee the reaction is exactly what you had hoped for. All right, everybody. See you tomorrow.